Yes, good morning, guys. Hope you guys are doing great. Let us continue the discussion on embedded C programming. So last class we started with that is header file discussion. Just a second. Hold. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Uh, Screen is already presented. Okay. Here. And this also I want support on. Spot on does not open. Just give me a minute. I need to. Yes, here we go. Let's start. The spot on is not opening. Spot on keeps. Okay. Okay, it's fine. Here we go. So last class we saw that embedded C program is used to program the microcontroller. So there are basically five the variable data types. So they are character, integer, just a second, integer, and S bit, and SFR. Okay, so these are the five uh, data types provided for the embedded C programming. Of course, in the normal functional C program, which that is application development C program, you find the many data types like float, double, long double. There are many in uh, normal C programming. But when it comes to embedded C, there are only five data types are used. Okay. Yeah. So let us, before we write the program, now we are left, we have to write a program in embedded C to perform a particular operation. But before we write a program, we should understand what is this register 51.h consist of. Okay. So as the name suggests, it's an header file. .h is an header file. So such kind of header files we have come across in our first year C. Like HDO.h, Conio.h, Math.h, Graphics.h. Okay, there are many. There are many. You must have come across even many more header files. Okay, so this registry 51.h file. Okay, how to get this file? When you install the Kill compiler, any version, you get this file automatically installed. Okay, so what is this file is used for? It is a header file for generic 8051 and 8031 microcontrollers. Okay, of course, this is a product of Kill Electronics. It's a embedded company. Okay, so this header file basically, okay, this will make use of if def preprocessor directive. If and def, this is the header file to include the definition to define a variable in C language. Okay, as well as if define, sorry, hash define, not if define, hash define. Okay, so if you see this header file, guys, we can see that this header file basically consists of all these special function registers. Okay, So let us look into the that special function register again. There is somebody is on the line. Okay. Okay. So special function register somewhere here. Okay. Yes. There are 21 special function registers in 8051 microcontrollers. So this special function registers has to be defined. See, for example, I guess it's something like this. In normal C, if you want to do this operation, let us say C is equal to A. Okay, in normal programming, application development C language, if you want to do this, compiler expect both A and C to be defined. Okay, either it may be integer C and A, or it may be character C and A. Before the actual use of these variables, it should be defined by the compiler. Sorry, by the programmer. Compiler should be aware what this C and A correspond to. If we don't tell the compiler that C and A are the variables of type integer, compiler says, I don't know who are these two guys, I don't know what is C, what is A. Okay, it will not recognize C and A. Similarly, in 8051 programming, the compiler, when we write the program in C language, we have to tell the compiler that there are some special function registers as it is shown in this document. So these are the names of the special function registers. So some of these special function registers are bit accessible, some of them are byte accessible. In that, but to be more precise, to be more clear, some of them are example accumulator kind of special function register is both bit accessible as well as byte accessible. But there are some registers, like for example, let us say pcon, for example, it is only byte accessible, it is not a bit accessible special function register. Okay, fine. This information we should give it to compiler. Okay, how do we give? Through the header file. Okay, so for that, this header file is written here. What we do is, guys, you can see that it's a byte register. Okay, so that means all the byte registers, it may be even bit accessible also. Okay, all the byte registers, okay, starting from P0. Why P0? Because it is the first special function register in the SFR block. You can see that it is the first special function register in the SFR block. Okay, so starting from P0, whose address is ATH, whose byte address. Okay, because P0 is both bit as well as byte accessible. So byte address is ATH. Starting from P0 up to the last register of B register, up to the last register, which is B in the SFR block, special function register block. Okay, all the registers should be defined in the header file. So check the header file. So all the registers, okay, starting from P0, it is defined with the address. Okay, using the data type SFR. Why? Because SFR is a embedded C data type which is used to define byte accessible special function registers. Byte accessible special function registers. Okay, you can see that all the address, for example, port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3, program status word, accumulator, B register. Okay, so all this, what is the order of declaring? You can declare in anywhere. I mean, it doesn't matter. Somewhere it should be available in the header file. Okay, that's what compiler expect. The order need not be in this order. It need not start with port 0. Somebody's on the line. Okay. So it need not start with port 0. It need not end at B register. Not necessary. You can declare in any order. Okay. It's just like in normal C programming. Somebody's on the line. Just a second. Okay. In a normal C programming, we include the header file hash include stdio.h, hash include stdio.h. So we use a function called as printf. Okay. My mouse, for example, let's say we use a printf function. Okay, so this printf function is defined inside stdio.h. Okay, where it is defined, it doesn't matter, but this printf should be defined inside the stdio.h. Okay, so likewise these registers are defined in the header file using the data type SFR and using its address. Okay, so whenever we use this name, for example, let us say if I say PSW in the in the program, it will identify this as the address D0, which is the program status word special function register in 805 microcontroller. Program status word whose address is D0. Okay, very simple. So likewise, if you see, all the byte accessible registers are declared first in this header file. It can be bit accessible also. You can declare in any order, no problem. Okay. Next comes bit accessible special function registers. What are bit accessible special function register, guys? If you see this, this SFR block, so there are some registers which are also bit accessible. Okay, so such a registers has to be defined. Otherwise, for example, let us say accumulator is defined. Address is E0. I want to access only this bit of accumulator. If this is not defined as a separate register, and if we use the address E4 in the program, it will confuse this for one more location in the special function register whose address is E4. It will not identify this E4 as one of the bit of a accumulator. So we need to identify this as one of the bit of the accumulator. Okay, so that is a bit accessible special function register. Okay, it's something like electrical department, Dayana Sagar College. There are 3 semesters, 3 years, academic years. Okay, in that, for example, it is a second year. In in that there are 2 sections, A and B. In that there are let us say 70 odd students. Okay, in that students can be identified with their names and USN, something like that. Okay, so we are identifying a register using its the byte address as well as bit address. Okay, so what are the bit accessible special function register? Starting with PSW. Okay, of course in this document, in this header file, the the programmer has started with the program status. But you can start with you know any register. Program status word has 8 bits. Okay, starting from D0. D0 bit corresponds to parity bit. This bit accessible register, special function register, is defined using S bit. Okay, S bit for bit accessible special function registers. Okay, so S bit is a data type which is used to access individual bits of a special function register, whereas SFR is a embedded C data type which is used to access byte accessible special function registers. Okay, so likewise, if you see this document, this header file, we can see that all the bit accessible special function register, whatever are there, in this whatever the bit accessible special function registers are there, all these registers has to be defined in the header file. Okay, that we can see in this header file. All the registers are explained, defined in this bit accessible special function registers. Okay. Okay, now let us understand how to make use of this header file in the program. Okay, so let us write a simple program, guys. To start with, let us write a very simple program to understand the the way we use the embedded C programming for in 805 microcontroller. Okay, fine. Yes, let us say, for example, I'll take one simple program. Well, let us consider one simple program. So from this document only we can consider. Okay, yes, now I'll before I go to port programming, but because first I will do the port programming in assembly language, then we'll come to C language. Okay, so I want to take up a simple program, not using the ports. Okay, let us jump to. But in this document, the author has given only using the port programming. Okay, something like this, guys. Let us define. Let us send some data to port B1. Okay. I think before that I should be doing this one. Let us. Okay. Somehow I'm not ready to jump to the port programming now without doing it in the assembly program. Okay. Yes. Let us say. Um, uh, we have a bit accessible memory. I need to set this bit to 1. Can you see this, guys? 50H. I need to set this bit to 1 using C program. Let us see how to do this. Let us go to the compiler. So last class we discussed, you have to save the file as .c for the embedded C programming, .asm for, the assembly programming. Let us write a program. Okay, so what is this address, guys? This address is 50h. Okay, first we have to define 50h. Okay, just a second. Mm, just a second. Just a second. 50h or any random location for that matter. Okay, not 50h. I'll take the accumulator bit, not the 50h. You can do the 50h also, but I want to show the accumulate. I want to show the header file role here. Okay, yes, let us say we have accumulator. I want to set the LSB of accumulator to 1. LSB of accumulator to 1. What are the different way of doing this, guys? We can load 01h into accumulator, which will automatically set the LSB to 1, or else we can store only 1 bit to this address. Let us do this. Okay, how to do this using the C program? Okay, as include main, because we know that all the C programs should start with the function main, because compiler will always look for main in the program. Okay, guess what is main program? Okay, in this main function we have to include this. By the way, can somebody tell me what is a void, guys? What is a void in C language? Can somebody tell me? Anybody from the class, guys? I think we discussed this. I don't remember, in the beginning, we must have discussed what is a void in C language. Yes, can somebody tell me this? What is a void in C language? Is anybody? What is a void in C language? Okay.
Sir, it's a character data type.
Sorry? It is a?
Character data type of
Uh,
size.
okay, Shailvi Singh says void is a character type. Is it a character data type, Shailvi? That void? Do we character is this one? If you can see the screen, we are defining Z as a character. That's fine. But what is this void?
It's a void you are asking. I thought why. God.
Okay. What is void? I think void you have studied in first year C. This okay. At this point, what I want to make one point clear is that uh, first year C you have studied. No doubt. Okay, no problem. But I suggest you to revise your C, guys. C language. Okay. It is necessary because as I told you in the last class, many languages are based on C language. Okay, so we should be thorough in C language. There is no excuse. Especially when we are into programming, and most of you definitely will go into programming field. Even if you guys are electrical engineers, even electrical engineers do coding. They can't avoid coding. I suggest revision of C language. Okay, I'm not telling this because you didn't answer what is a void. Not that. Okay, not because of that. In a general sense. Okay, it's applicable to anyone and everyone. No problem. Okay. Okay. So what is a void? In fact, void is a data type in C language. Okay, it is a data type in C language. What does it represent? It represents nothing. When something does not represent anything, why to use? It's very important. Okay, why it is important? Because okay, we'll take one example. Okay, let us say for example we define one function int f1. Okay, guys, I'm really sorry for my mouse. That is so let me erase this. Okay, somehow I'm not comfortable using this mouse. Character A. I don't know why I selected this color. Please, can somebody tell me what is this function is? F1 is a function basically. A function f1 takes a variable a which is of the type character. Guys, what is this int represents? Can somebody tell me this? Can somebody?
Will return an integer.
Correct. Somebody answered. I don't know who is that anyway because I'm in the screen. The function f1 takes a character variable as an. Guess what is okay? What is this character a for a function f1? For function f1, what is character A? What do we call this as? Within bracket. Yes, can somebody? What is this character A is for f1? What does it mean for f1?
Function.
Yes, sorry.
Function.
Function is f1. See, f1 is the function, correct? Okay, f1 is the name of the function. What is this character A for function f1? There's a particular term for that. It is called as argument. I'm sure you must have heard of this argument. Okay, character is an argument for function f1. That is, we are sending this value to f1. Function f1 in turn will return an integer argument. It will return an integer value. Okay, so return value of function f1 is integer. Let us say I don't want to send anything to function f1. I don't want to return any. I don't want anything from f1. Then we have to specify it as, of course, in C language we don't specify it as void. Compiler by default, if you, even if this space is empty, for example, if this space is empty, that is, for example, if you define it as f1 empty bracket colon, it will take it as void, no problem. Okay, but in embedded C, we specify the same thing for the main function as void. That means the main function is not taking any value from the user as an input, neither it is returning any value. That is, it is a void. Is you understood now? Very simple, void is a data type in C language which represents literally nothing. Okay, but it has a good meaning. Okay, this this concept of including void depends on two things. One is the compiler and the other is the context in which we are using the C language. Void main function, open bracket. Okay, fine. Let us write the program. Okay, now I need to use the I need to as we understood, I need to set one of the bit of accumulator to 1. I want to set this bit of accumulator to 1. Okay, how to do this? The compiler. Okay, now if you see this, the address of accumulator is E0H. Okay, so what is the name of the accumulator in the, if you see this header file? I think I closed the header file. Let me open the header file. This, hold on a second. I don't know where where is, here it is, somewhere here. Yeah, register tutorial. Let us see how it is defined in how accumulator is defined in header file. It is defined as ACC for accumulator, whose byte address is E0. Okay, we have to use the same name. If you use some other name, it will give the error. We'll try both. Okay, we should understand on what condition the compiler works, and under what condition the compiler generates error. Okay, let us okay, so that is, I want to transfer. Just be careful about the uppercase and lowercase, because C language is case sensitive. Okay, 0x for the hexadecimal, 01 the data. Okay, so this is the program what we are writing, and end of the program. That's all. Now I want to send only data to accumulator. Okay, and if you see the normal programming style, I think I jumped out of the. Okay. So how to open a function in C language using the open bracket, open floor curly brackets, and to end the C program we use the closing curly brackets. Very simple. Okay, so what I have written the program is very simple. Okay, so first step is save the file, right click, check for syntax error, build target. The procedure is same. Okay, even for the C program. If everything goes well, there's nothing in the program anyway, so there is no error. Debug, start session. Okay, yes, now let me, okay, guys, did you observe one thing, guys? I think I should come back again. Okay, if you observed this space, we had included only C program.c, but if errors are 0 and if the debug session is successful, it will attach header file to the project. It will automatically attach header file. What is this header file? Is the same file what we just now we saw. If you see this header file, it is same as what we saw. Okay, so this is the same file. Okay, it will be automatically attached to the project. if the debug session is successful, but if there is any error in the program, let us say we have made some mistake in the C program, but then this error file will not be attached. Okay, fine. Next is okay. So I want to store 01 into this location. So debug run. Okay, debug run, and it is not yet stored the data. Stop debug stop session, but data is not transferred because okay, I think some error in the program is just a second. Okay, ran into an error. Build target. Let's give me a second. Debug start session. Just there is a debug. Register 15 which is correct, but this is not 11 on my keyboard. Yes, it is working. You know, it's working. This debug run didn't work. I am using F11 on my keyboard. You can see that the program executes between these two lines. Okay, that is accumulator line and the closing curly bracket. When I press F11 on my keyboard, one is transferred into accumulator, and when the closing curly bracket is executed, the data will be reset. Data is reset. It will go back to the main function, that is accumulator. It is storing the data into the accumulator. Okay. This what I want to show now is what happens if header file is not included. Let us test that. We need to understand the role of header file here. Let us say I have not included the header file. Let us see what happens. I'll come back from the beginning. I'll start from the beginning. That is, I modified the code, source code, save the file, check for syntax error. Compiler says I can't identify what is ACC because we are not defined. For that, we can include the header file, no doubt. Okay, we can include the header file. There's other way of doing this. Without using header file, we can tell the compiler what is ACC is. Okay, so to tell the compiler, go to this header file, copy this line, guys. This line for accumulator. Copy this line. That is SFR ACC is equal to 0x E0. 0x for hexadecimal numbers. Okay, go to this compiler. Before the usage of a variable, we have to define what is that. Okay, SFR ACC is equal to 0x E0. Okay, fine. Here we go. Save the program because we have modified the code. Yes, you can use capital X or small x here. That's not a problem. Okay, you can use capital or small x. Okay, the compiler treats it as hexadecimal number. Save the source code. Right click on the source code. Build target. Compiler doesn't generate any error. Why? Because compiler knows what ACC corresponds to. ACC is now a special function register in special function register block whose address is E0. Compiler doesn't care whether it's an accumulator or whether it's something else. This name is an optional. We can try that also. We'll try that also. Okay. This address is important. This if we change this address, gone. Let us run the program. Okay. So debug start session. To convert, okay, I'll explain that also. To convert this C code into assembly code, we are doing this. I'll explain that also. Okay. Next, F11 on my keyboard. We can see that this data 01 is copied into address which is identified by the name ACC, whose address is E0, which is nothing but accumulator in our microcontroller. This data will be copied into that particular location. Okay, fine. Very simple. Okay. So that means now, did you understood the role of header file, guys? Header file just specifies the address of the special function register, nothing else. Okay. For that purpose, we require a header file. Okay. Fine. Now let's see. What if the name changes? Because I don't want to use ACC. I want to use only AC, for example. Okay. Let us see whether this works. What is there in the name? But still, this ACC is what defined in the header file. I want to change it. I can change it here also, guys. In fact, I can change here also. I can make it AC also. No problem. Okay. But I want to change it only in this program because next time I may use the header file, then it may generate error. Debug start session. Okay, fine. No error because compiler is able to identify this address using the name AC. AC for accumulator in my case. Okay. So F11 on my keyboard. What I expect is this. Did you observe this? This arrow points to the first instruction in the program. It doesn't care about not that it doesn't care. It understand all these are the something, they are not instructions. The actual instruction is somewhere here. Okay, F11 on my keyboard. The data 01 is now copied into the location accumulator. Of course, location E0H, which is the accumulator in our 805 microcontroller. Okay, fine. Yes, next thing is what we have to understand is what is happening in the compiler. Okay, that check this what you call disassembly window. Guys, okay, in disassembly window we can see that the main program. Yes, if you write an assembly program, what used to happen is it always used to start from the first location. If you remember this, you must have tried some of the assembly program by now, I guess, using the compiler. It always used to start from the first location, 0000. Okay, but when you write a program in C language, the compiler may not start from the first location, may not start. It may start, it may not start. Who will decide this? Compiler will decide. Then where this program will be stored in the internal ROM space. This disassembly window is showing the internal ROM space where the program is stored. Let us observe. Okay. The first, say, whenever the microcontroller is restarted, compiler will always point to the program controller will always point to the first location in the ROM space. That is 0000. Okay, first location. But the compiler decides not to store this program starting from the first location because it thinks that first few locations are used for interrupt service routine. What is interrupt service routine? We'll discuss sometimes later. It is a separate chapter. Interrupt chapter, we'll discuss there. Okay. Instead of that, what does the compiler does is it will use a LJMP instruction. What is LJMP? Is long jump instruction. It will jump to some far off location, 0800 location, where it will store this program. Let us jump to that location in the disassembly window, somewhere around 0800. Okay, observe that 0800 is not in our control also. The compiler is deciding that it is storing that program in that location 0800. Of course, GIL compiler can be edited and it can be modified, but we are using the default condition where the program is stored in the address 0800. In this location, if you observe what is stored, what we expect is normally is that C program should have been stored here. No, because this GIL compiler, what it does is it will convert C program into assembly program, and then it will convert into machine code, that is X code, X code, binary code. That is nothing but operational code, opcodes. Is nothing but opcodes. Okay, let's observe this. The location at starting from 8000. This I'll show you the starting from 8000. Okay, somewhere here. Okay, so starting from 8000, some data are stored. Some operational codes are stored 787F. Okay, which is for move R0 0x7F. Okay, so clear A, move A comma. Okay, why this program is generated? Okay, this program is the result of the conversion of C program into assembly code. Okay, because in the last class we have understood that the compiler will treat the C program as, yes, I'll jump to that point again. Okay, yes, I'll just give me a second. That ROM memory, how does the internal RAM memory, how does the compiler treats internal RAM memory? So last class we have understood, of course, but quickly. Okay, yes, here we go. Okay, in internal RAM memory, the compiler will treat the first register bank. Okay, for this let me jump to, I'm sorry for this, I need to, okay, I'll go here only, this is better. Okay, so whenever we write a C program, compiler will identify only first register bank, that is register bank 0. Above that it will store the variables, like for example character, integer variables. Above that it will store the array. Above that it will store the stack memory. Okay, so thereby it has to convert the program into assembly code in such a way that these things are handled by the compiler. Okay, so thereby if you see this is RAM space. Of course, in ROM space the assembly code is generated and it is something like this. We don't understand why this is move R0 comma this one clear A, move at r0 comma a, okay, dgen z r0 comma c, okay. This program we need not worry, but what we have to understand at this point is the C program will be converted into what is known as a assembly program. You can see the C program here also, for example, okay, void main AC is equal to 0x01, okay. So move, so this AC corresponds to the address E0. E0 is nothing but the accumulator. So accumulator, what it is doing is this instruction AC is equal to 0x01 is converted into the instruction move a comma hash 0x01. Why? Because is the data, see, it's as good as transferring, is as good as writing the instruction move a comma hash 01, move a comma hash 01, okay. So thereby what does the compiler does is whatever the program we write in C language, it will be converted into equivalent assembly language, then it will convert into operational codes. That's all. Yes, I hope this is clear. This is what I wanted to show. Okay, so this is how we write the C program, and I hope guys, this role of this what you call header file is clear. Okay, so header file is used to define the special function registers. Okay, similarly we can define only one particular bit of a special function register. For example, let us say I want to define only, I want to store 1 to this bit E1. Okay, when I store 1 to this bit, all other bits are 0. Okay, 0 0 0 0, this is 1 0. What is the content of accumulator, guys? It is 0 to h, 0 to, I'm sorry, no space here, 0 to h. Let us try this, okay, using the C program. Okay, so for this I need to define this bit, S bit. Okay, S bit, the address is E1. Let us go to the compiler. I'll modify the code. Instead of SFR now, I'll use S bit because I'm using I'm accessing bit locations of a special function register. I'll call this as AC1. AC0 is the ACC. I'll use the ACC better. Okay. Accumulator 0 is the LSB bit. I'm accessing the first bit of accumulator. LSB plus 1. Okay. What is the address of this bit is E1. Address of this bit is E1. Okay, here also you need to use the same name, otherwise compiler generates error. Compiler is very particular, and this bit should be not 8-bit. See, earlier we stored 8-bit data into accumulator because accumulator is a 8-bit location. Now we are storing only 1 bit to 1 bit location. This bit should not be 8-bit. This bit should be 1 bit. How to specify 1 bit in the C language? It's very simple. It's 1. That's all. That's all. Okay, it will take it as 1 bit, no problem. Okay, let us run this program and see how does the compiler handles 1 bit of data. Okay, so save the code because I modified the code. Save the code. Right click on source code, build target to check for syntax error. Things are okay. I think the compiler is able to identify ACC1, so compiler does not have any issue at this point. Debug start session to convert C code into equivalent assembly code, and of course ultimately into equivalent operational code or X code. Okay, press F11 on my keyboard. It is pointing to that instruction. When I press F11, okay, I need to look into these registers. Okay, F11 on my keyboard, we can see that data 1 is copied into the second bit of accumulator. This is the accumulator in special function register. This is the LSB bit. So LSB plus bit 1 is here. Okay, so the 1 is copied here. The LSB bit address is E0. LSB bit 1, LSB plus 1 bit is E1. Okay, so this is the last bit of accumulator, that is the MSB bit. We can see that 1 is copied into this E1H, and all other bits are 0. All other bits are 0. That's why the content of accumulator is 0 to H. The content of accumulator is 0 to H. Okay, so this way we can access individual bits of a special function register and all the 8 bits of a special function register. Okay, yes, in fact, see, if you want to go on using this, this special function register, we need to write, let's say for example, next I want to use the B register. Okay, in that case we need to write one more this line. We have to define that B register. B is equal to, okay, 0x f0, 0x f0. Okay, instead of this we can directly use the header line. Okay, header file. No, there is we can include the header line. Header file using hash include not std, sorry, registry 51.h. Registry 51.h. Okay, so in this case we need not worry about defining individual bits. We can access any special function register using the registry 51 header file. That's okay. It's very simple. You know, this is. Guys, I hope you understood how to make use of the data types in a C program. Okay, fine. Okay, this next is will execute some more program in the C language. How to access the ports. But before understanding the program for accessing the port, let us write the program in assembly, and then we'll write the equivalent program in C language. Okay. So what I do now is I'll go back here. Okay. So let us take one simple C program. For that, we'll write the equivalent assembly code. It's very simple, guys. You know, I mean, writing program is very simple. I mean to say, you know, first we'll write assembly code. We'll understand what the program is doing. Then we'll go to C code, because not that we cannot learn C code directly, but usually we don't do that. You know, so assembly code should be clear so that we can. Okay, starting from here, okay. Let us write this program. Okay, in assembly code, I need to transfer some data, you know, some data into port P1. I need to send some data to port P1. Okay, one by one, data one by one. Okay, in this program, what is done is first 0. This is a for loop. First 0 is Z is declared as a character variable. 0 is sent to port P1. Port P1. Okay, then it is incremented by one value. It becomes 1. It is sent to port P1. Okay, likewise 255, that is FFH. In hexadecimal it is FFH. It will be sent to port P1. Okay, so this is how the program is written in C language. First, let us write this program in assembly. Then let us understand how to write the program in C language. Okay, here we go. So I'll delete this program, guys. You know, because I need to write the assembly code. I'll delete from the project. Okay, let this be here, no problem. This will not affect. Okay, but whatever the file we had load here, that matters. I had existing file. I think already I had one assembly program, assembly file. I can use the same file. I can create one more, no problem. Sample.asm, I think. Any program is no problem. Okay, any file. I think this was for some other function I had written. Let us write a program, no problem. Sample.asm. It is an assembly code. Okay, so what we have to do is, okay, now in assembly, I need not define port P1, because if I say P1, you know, the compiler will automatically understand. If I'm trying to write some data into port P1 or port 0, you can take any of the ports. So let us write the program. Move P1, comma, hash some data. Okay. So what this data is? Let us say, for example, move P1, comma, hash, let us say 55H, for example. I'll show you this. You know, end of the, because compiler will generate warning. I don't want to see warning at this point now. That's why. Okay, very simple. What I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to transfer data 55H into port P1, port P1, port 0, port 2, port. You can take any port. Sorry, P1, port P1, no problem. Okay, port P1. Very simple. Okay, how to watch this or how to observe this? Let us observe this. Let us watch the, get some clarity on this. Save the program. Check for syntax error. Okay, things are good. There is nothing in the program in there. Debug start session. Okay, so now how to observe? See, how do we use to observe the memory location, guys? We used to open a memory window. You can see that memory window here. We used to go to that location. For example, D. That is D for data memory. The port P1 is stored at the location 90H. Okay, so we'll go to internal memory. Port P1, that is the address is 90H. Is 90. Okay, just now what happens is that I'll show you this. You know, I think this. Okay, so when the microcontroller is reset, as I think discussed in the beginning classes, you know, some of the location will be reset to some initial value. Okay, especially when the microcontroller is reset, stack pointer will be reset to 07H. 07H. This, in fact, that we can see in the compiler also. You know, you can see that here. Okay, in the compiler, see, observe this. You know, stack pointer is already reset to 07H. Okay, similarly, There are some locations which are reset to some initial value. For example, port 0, port 1, port 2, and port 3. All these 4 ports are initialized to FFH by default. Why it is FFH? Why not 00? That will I'll take up little later. Okay, because FFH indicates the port is defined as a input port. 00 indicates the port is defined as a output port. Okay, FF corresponds to input port and 00 corresponds to output port. Yeah, of course, FF and 00 is a value data to the port, but initially if you load FF or 00, FF corresponds to configuring the port as input port, 00 corresponds to configuring the port as a output port. Okay, that means by default microcontroller will configure all these 4 ports, port 0, port 1, port 2, and port 3 as a input port by default. Okay, you can change that, that's not a problem. Okay, we can configure the port as output port also. That's why in this location, even I have not run the program, I have done only debug start session, you can already see that it's already FFH. Why? Because by default microcontroller will set these ports into FF, so that those ports can be used as a input port, which we can change in the program. Okay, that's not an issue. But for example, I can do this here in the program. Move P1 comma #00H 00H. Let us run this program. I'll come from the beginning. Save the program. Save the program. Build target. To check for syntax error. No errors. Debug start session. You can see that in this location port 0. Okay. Of course, right now it is 90. Is it okay? 90 is port 1. Correct. 90 is port 1. But it's still okay. I'm going to run the program. Let us run the program. Yes. Okay. Because I will not run the program, initially it is FFH. I'll run the program using F11 on my keyboard. Step execution. First line of execution, we can see that 00 is loaded into port P1. 00 is loaded into port P1. Okay. Next line, 55 is loaded into port P1. Very simple, because ports are treated as a internal register. So that's why we're using move instruction. Okay. There is another way of observing these ports. For that, you can go to peripherals on the compiler, go to IO ports. So there are 4 ports displayed. I'm using port P1, open port P1. You can see that, guys, in fact, I'll run the program. Okay, I'll run the program again with this port P1. Okay, let me open all the ports. Let us observe all the ports. It's interesting. Let us see what is going on in these ports. This all the other ports should not feel bad. That we are not being monitored. Okay, here we go. I open all the 4 ports. I'll come from the beginning, guys. Guys, I'm sorry for this. I'm running the program again and again. I want things to be clear here. Save the program. I didn't modify the code, but it's always a good practice to save the program and then run the program. Debug start session. Maybe it has become an habit for me. Save the program, then run. Okay, it's a matter of practice. Yes, okay. Observe this. I'm made to run the program. You can see that all the 4 ports are configured as a input port. Why? Because all the 4 ports are loaded with FF. There is a question here that what is these 2 row corresponds to port 0 and pins. Port 0 is the internal memory location. There is SFR location. Pins corresponds to physical pin on the IC. Physical pin on the IC. The question is, can it be different? Can it be different value on internal memory location? Can it be different value on pin? It is not so. But I guess I'll go to this detail little later. Okay, because pins means we can load some value to this pin, which will be transferred into its internal location. For example, this is port P1. I load some value to port. External device will send some data 1 to this pin. So this data 1 will be loaded into internal memory. I load 0 to this pin. This 0 will be loaded to external device through this pin. Okay, so that means this memory location and these pins are treated separately, but internally they are the same. Okay, more on this we'll discuss when we discuss interfacing. Okay, so I don't want to go into that discussion now. We can see that all the 4 ports are configured as input port because it is loaded with FF. Okay, fine. So debug start session I have done. F11 on my keyboard. So first, you can see that the port P1 is loaded with 00. Please did observe that the port pins internally, the register port P1 is reset to 00. Okay, is reset to 00. The pins are also reset to 00 because whenever you load some data to port P1 or P01, whichever port, so you load some data, the same data will be sent to its pins, physical pins on the microcontroller. If you load 00, all the pins will have 00. Okay, fine. So F11 on my keyboard, next line instruction, F11 on my keyboard, 55. 55 is loaded into port P1. Okay, so port P1 is now loaded with 55H. Okay, so 55 is loaded in port P1. The same data will go to its pins. So whatever data you load into port, for example, if you load it as let us say 44H, for example, so the same data will be loaded to the pins. Whereas, okay, this, I think this is clear. Whereas if you change the pins on the it's not allowing because it is running, it's in the running session. It will not allow now, but you can modify this. I'll show you that. Debug stop. Oh, sorry, it went out of the. Okay, I'll run the program again. Save the file, of course. Build target. Debug start session. Now I'll not run the program. I'll just try to modify the pins of the ports. Let's say I'll take the port one only, no problem. I'll change the pin, port pin. Yes, did you observe that I'm changing the port pin, but its internal location is not changing? Why? Because pins are changed, the data on the pin is changed, but I'm made to read the data into the memory. I'm made to read the data on the pins into its internal memory. Whereas if you modify the data on the internal memory, that will be reflected on the pin. For example, let us modify the, let us take port P2 for example, or port 0, no problem. Okay, I'll change internal memory. I'll change the pins content of the internal memory. The data on the pin changes. The data on the pin changes. Whereas if I change the data on the pins, it will not change the internal memory location until and unless data is read into the memory. Is what I'm trying to say is very simple. You know, 2 more minutes. I'll I'll wind up. What I'm trying to say is these are the pins. For example, port 0 pins. I load some data onto the these pins 0011, something like this. Okay, these data will not be loaded into the internal memory location, that is port 0 special function register, until and unless we read this. Whereas if I load some data into the port 0, it will be automatically transferred to the pins of the port, physical pins on the IC, microcontroller IC. Okay, so there is a difference between these internal special function register content and the content on the pins of the physical pins of the microcontroller IC. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show. This is one of the way of observing the content of ports using this this windows, that is using the peripherals tab. You can open the ports and you can observe the output, and you can also observe the output using the memory window. That's what it is. Okay, so we can write the C program for this. It's very simple. Okay, for C program I need to change the this what you call I need to create a file. Okay, it's already 10 days. You're getting late for your class also. Just a second, I will take one more print screen. Okay, you're getting late to the class also next time. Yes, thanks. Anyway, thanks for joining. See you in the next class. Okay, stay home, stay safe, take care. Thank you.